Oh, mate.
Oh, what a pleasure it is to welcome Grant Elliott in. Hello, Grant. Where have you been?
What, in general or this summer? I've been around, Katie.
Generally speaking.
You've been traveling a lot, to be fair. You haven't been here, but it is always a pleasure.
That wide-arm delivery from Cole McConkey. Back-to-back wickets for South Africa.
Well, de Zorzi, who's been playing an expansive game, he's gone over there off the back foot over extra cover. This time it's full from McConkey. Full and wide. Slap to the captain, the New Zealand captain today, Jimmy Neesham. Well held with those big mids. Tony de Zorzi departs for 23. It's 83 for 3.
Everyone has dreams. But what seems impossible at first could soon become a reality.
Ready, Dad?
Is it time to take your leap?
4 overs to go. Last wicket to fall, Dion Forrester was looking so good for his 19 of 14. Another start for him. He'll be disappointed he couldn't kick on. Jason Smith, new out in the middle alongside Ruben Herman. Smith on strike now, 17th over. Jimmy Neesham.
What a start. Jimmy Neesham back in. That has done everything but take the bails off there, I think, from Neesham. Has such great execution to be able to run in, goes to that rolling leg cutter, slow ball Yorker.
He's got that away. 4 runs to Jason Smith. They'll need more of that if South Africa are looking towards 170, 180.
Well, I praised the execution, the ball before. This is a miss from Neesham. Again, it's that slight roll of the fingers across the seam, bangs it in, but it's on the hip, and that is just easy pickings for Smith. It's been a struggle to get started this innings. Is that the boundary that does it for Smith?
Picked up. And 6 runs off the bat of Smith. And this is exactly the impetus South Africa needs in this innings.
Just sits there, doesn't it, from Neesham? That's the slower delivery. Just sits up, waiting to be hit. He is a powerful man, Jason Smith.
Push for 2, just a single. It's a tough surface to bowl on. When you get it right, like Jess Kerr did, she was accurate. She talked about being at the stumps. Sometimes a little too short. It just sits up nicely to be hit. It's square of the wicket. Easy pickings if you get it wrong.
It feels like the margin for error is reasonably small. We've seen some assistance with the slow balls, the cutters, the gripping and holding in the pitch. That one pace on from Neesham. Block hole out towards the wide line, using the angle. Spot on from Neesham. That is perfect. A beautiful night here in the capital. Wellington showing off. And a gorgeous couple of days since we've been here. And tonight. Great night for cricket.
Oh, that's so well played. Ruben Herman. A 40 in the over, 15 from it. 138 for 4.
Flat hair, need a lift? New Elvive Collagen and Lifter by L'Oréal Paris. With collagen peptide. Formula wraps the hair fibre for an instant volume lift. To make every day a big hair day. From flat to fierce in seconds.
When my hair is lifted, so am I.
New Elvive Collagen and Lifter by L'Oréal Paris.
You're worth it.
His compliment. They're the 5 bowlers used so far. Jamieson, Folkes, Sears, the 3 fast men, the ones that have still got overs left, and you would expect they'll be the 3 that bowl the remaining 3 of this innings.
31 dot balls among the 3. Jamieson to bowl the 18th. It's protection on the boundary. Thinking of 2. It's not easy on this ground. It's a 1-2 from the South African innings. The fielding's been really good from the Black Caps. Talking about the dew factor, how much will that impact the second half of this game?
Yeah, I would think so. I think it's been really noticeable in the field as we've got the dark sky overhead. The temperature has dropped rapidly since the sun has set. So that's where you get the dew starting to form. Is that the air temperature ends up less than the ground temperature. We've seen it with the fielders. We've seen how far they could dive and slide. Shows that it's definitely formed. And what you will get is the outfield will get sprayed with an anti-dew substance to try and minimise their impact, but it's still there. Ball will get damp, get slippery, and the pitch itself will just quicken up a touch. So it can be useful for batting. A lot of players say it's actually, they find it a lot easier to chase here because of that factor. The ball just tends to slide on under the lights with the dew. And I think that's possibly why we've seen the Black Caps in the last 3 or 4 overs really go to those slow balls, the cutters. Just the recognition that with the dew forming, that the ball is just sliding on, quickening up a touch. And so maybe those pace-on deliveries, they've now become the easier ones to hit.
It's interesting that South Africa then decided to bat first. They've also gone with the extra spinner in Pernell and O'Brien, who makes his T20 international debut tonight. Nicely hit. They will get to. And McQuena misses out tonight. He's been impressive in the series. So Bartman's back, and we've got Nito Sepamla also missing out. It's really interesting to see how that combination works out for South Africa tonight.
Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed actually when the youngster McQuena not playing tonight. Been really impressed with what he's been able to do, bat and ball. I think he looks a real prospect for South Africa.
Good effort, but that will go for 4. It's in the air for a long time. And, 4 runs in what was otherwise a really good over until that point from Kyle Jamieson.
It's pace off once again, and it's a big change. Tough catch for Josh Clarkson running round. Just didn't quite get the dive forward. Just grazes the fingertips. But the change in pace between the last 2 deliveries, from 135 down to 104. Huge change from Jamieson.
straight down the ground. And that is an outstanding take from Robinson. Presence of mind on the boundary, steadied himself and held on.
Such a big boundary down the ground here, Henry Stadium in Wellington. It's the cross seamer from Jameson. And Smith just thinks, first glance, that is in the slot. Gets a good piece of it, gets a lot of it, but can't get it over. Tim Robinson in the deep. Takes a good measured catch. And Smith's got to go look dangerous in that 19. South Africa now 146 for 5 with 2 overs to go.
Dreams matter. We've all got them. We're not here to judge what yours are. That's personal, and that's fine. But does your dream feel within reach? We're ready when you are. We can help you find the right ISA for your dreams. ISAs on Lloyd's. Bank on Lloyd's.
George Linder out in the middle with 2 overs to go, 146 for 5. How many more can South Africa get in these last 2 overs? Harman's been there, he's faced 21 deliveries for his 26. Zach Folkes to bowl the 19th over. 14 fours and 8 sixes in the South African innings.
Got Bevan Jacobs mic'd up for us out in the middle. Bevan, how are you tonight?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Conditions out there, how's it feeling?
Yeah, look, I mean, the track looks pretty good. I think the boys have bowled pretty well on it. There's a lot of dew out here as well, which, you know, the ball's coming through off the deck nicely. So I think we're just going to try to use the dimensions here, try and restrict them as much as possible in these last 2 overs.
Good comprehensive answer to start, because if you hadn't mentioned the dew, I would have been asking you to bend down and run a hand along the surface for me to show it off. So a good start there. But what was, I guess, at the fall of the last wicket, is it all just about trying to restrict runs, trying to get them hitting in certain parts of the ground now?
That's a skyer, they will fall safe. Get 2 runs.
Just on your point, yeah, 100%. I think at the moment, obviously, with the dimensions of the ground, heading straight is the biggest area, so we can try and use that to advantage. I think it was really important for us to get that wicket there, break that partnership, because, you know, both big hitters. But I mean, even now, Herman and Linda both clear the rope pretty easily. So I think it's just about using the dimensions we can to our best ability.
When you turn up to a different ground like this, Bevan, long straight, as you've mentioned, short square, does it change your, I guess, plan A of how you want to go about things, or is it still batting's batting, and if you get the opportunity to go the short side, then you take it?
Yeah, 100%. I think you always got to back what you're best at first, and then kind of adapt your game from there. But it's definitely something to be aware of when you're in the middle.
How's that for placement? George Linder is having such a good series with the bat. Comes out and firing immediately.
Hey, Foxy.
Yeah, just excellent timing, leg side from Linder. And Bevan, yourself, it's been a phenomenal year. You were brilliant throughout the Super Smash. How is the form feeling coming into this series?
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, it feels pretty good. I guess just need to get out there and start batting. It's
an interesting one, isn't it, T20 cricket, when you bat in those middle over spots. there's the potential you don't necessarily get to do a lot of batting. So how do you keep yourself, I guess you'll be feeling pretty fresh, but how do you keep yourself ticking over in between games where perhaps there's not that many on-field opportunities?
Yeah, I guess for me it's just about following the process as best I can and kind of sticking true to that. And then I can kind of base it based off that and just go out there and have some fun. Bob Folksy. Sorry guys, my mic's falling out a little bit here. Technical issues.
No, doing a great job. Still working just fine, Bevan, but ideally perfect world from here with 7 balls left in the innings. What's the kind of score you'd love to keep them to?
Look, if we can keep them below 170 with the last bit here, I think the boys will be really happy to try and chase that on this wicket.
Brilliant. Thanks for your time, Bevan.
Cheers, thanks.
Innovative from George Linder, and he'll get the desired result. Good over for South Africa. 16 from it, 1 over to go, 162 for 5. Towards the end here for South Africa. George Linder's come out firing 14 from 5, including 2 fours. But it's Herman on strike in this final over. Jacobs speaking to Frankie Mackay said they're happy to keep them to under 170. NC has 1 for 21 in his 3. He'll bowl the final over. Herman looking to clear the ropes in this final over. It's been there for a while. Dot ball to start.
Well, I did say perfect world to Bevan Jacobs, so he's put 170 as the marker, which is the average first innings score here at Henry Stadium in Wellington. So right on the money, able to keep them to 170. If you're South Africa, however, you're thinking, how close to 180 can we get from here? Big last over, push up and above that pass score.
And the first one hard. Oh, they want a second. The fielding's too good. I feel like someone like Otniel Bartman will bowl well on this surface with these change-ups. South Africa need wickets in the power play. He's in a settled opening partnership. There's a debutant that makes a couple of changes in that batting unit, Frankie.
And well, of course, Cartney Clark on international debut, t20 debut tonight. Dane Cleaver back into the side. Been a long time since he's been in the national colours. Bevan Jacobs missed the last match, just injury, keeping an eye on that. So definitely some change in that top order. There's plenty of batting there, though, because then you've got the all-rounders, Neesham, Clarkson, McConkey. Then Zach Folkes, a very tidy batter. And so there are plenty of options in that lineup, but it just looks a little less experienced.
Just cannot get bat on ball. George Linder maybe frustrated out there. Changing his pace quite nicely. 3 slower balls in this final over.
Yeah, big range. Fast ball, 114 kilometres now. Fastest ball of the over, 138. See why it is so tough to get the timing right. He has got all the tricks, does Ben Sears.
This is an exceptional final over. it's not just about the runs you get. It's South Africa got a big over. Suddenly you take that momentum into your bowling innings. 164 for 5 under the par score, batting first here in Wellington. 1 ball to go in the 20th over. And then the conversation once again from Sears and Neesham at the top of the mark. Making sure they're perfectly clear on what the plan is for the last ball. Oh. Outstanding, absolutely outstanding from Ben Sears. Intelligent bowling in this final over. Keeps it down to just 2. South Africa, after winning the toss and electing to bat first, end on 164 for 5. Even Jacob said anything under 170 would be very nice. And that's exactly what he's got.